Welcome back, dear students, in Anatomy Student Zone with another topic that I will cover. So I, Dr. Saida Sara, is here with you. Today I will tell you how to study this topic if you want to have a grip on it. And I will also recommend first go through this lecture, and after this lecture go through a video of the model that I will share with you, and this will clear the whole concept. So believe me, it will become very easy for you when you will follow the sequence that I am going to tell you. So today I will cover the gluteal region muscle. These muscles help us in routine activities like we are raising from sitting position. They also help us in walking. Besides this, deep muscles of the gluteal region, they also stabilize the head of a femur in acetabulum, that we will also see later on. Moving towards the anatomy of this topic, gluteal region starts from iliac crest above to gluteal folds below, as you can see over here. To cover the muscles of the gluteal region, focus on this image of atlas that I am going to show you right now. So you can see on the left side, superficial dissection is shown, and on right side, that is a deep dissection. When we are going to remove some muscle, we can see the deeper group of muscle in this image. So when we remove the skin and the superficial fascia, on a superficial dissection, we can see a big muscle on the posterior or a gluteal aspect, that is gluteus maximus muscle. So this is superficial muscle of a gluteal region, you all know this, and we can see the gluteus medius that is covered with the gluteal epineurosis also over here. So in next image, the deep dissection is shown, and we have removed the gluteus maximus muscle and it is retracted to the side. We can clearly see the gluteus medius muscle, but in this image, complete gluteus medius is not shown. We can also see its upper and the lower half, but the middle half is removed. So when we remove the gluteus medius, its central part as it's shown, or if we are going to remove the whole gluteus medius, we can identify the gluteus minimus muscle. So we can also see the other smaller muscle on a deep dissection that I'm not going to cover right now. We will cover that on a deep dissection. Another important point while doing the gluteus muscle is not to skip the lateral aspect of thigh, because on lateral side there is a small muscle of the gluteal region that we name as tensor fasciae lata, and you can see this muscle on the lateral aspect as we can also see in this image. So another hint is, if you want to finding difficulty in finding the tensor fasciae lata muscle, just focus on iliotibial tract. So the iliotibial tract, you know, it's also on the lateral aspect of a thigh, and follow it till top, and the top or above surface of the iliotibial tract you will see a smaller muscle that we name as tensor fasciae lata muscle. Iliotibial tract is also important because some important muscle will insert on it, we will see. So fascia lata, that is a deep fascia of thigh, it is thickened on the lateral surface of a thigh, and it forms a strong wide band that we name as iliotibial band or a iliotibial tract. And as the name indicates, iliotibial means it's attaching from ilium to tibia, but which point of ilium, which part of tibia, so we will see. So it is attached above to tubercle of iliac crest, and below it is attached to lateral condyle of tibia. And the function of this iliotibial tract is it forms a sheath for the tensor fasciae lata muscle that we had seen before, and it also receives the insertion of a gluteus maximus muscle. So if I summarize the muscle of a gluteal region, these muscles are divided into two groups, superficial group and a deep group. So superficial group includes gluteus maximus, medius, minimus, and the tensor fasciae lata, while the deep group includes the all smaller muscle that I will cover later on. So covering the detail of the superficial muscle, which are maximus, medius, and the minimus, they originate from the outer surface of a ilium bone, and you will have covered these, I hope, in a hip bone as well. So all these three muscles insert on a femur bone. So on the femur bone, 2 points are very important. So these bony points are gluteal tuberosity and the greater trochanter. So we can also observe that the greater trochanter is on the anterior, the posterior aspect when we are going to see femur bone, while gluteal tuberosity is present on the posterior aspect of the femur bone, as you can see. So gluteus maximus muscle, which is the first superficial muscle of this group, it is attached over the gluteal tuberosity. Besides that, I had also told you about the iliotibial tract that is also providing insertion to a gluteus maximus muscle. So we can see in this image that superficial 3 by 4th part of gluteus maximus, that is a main part. So main part of gluteus maximus is attaching to iliotibial tract, and it's just 1/4 part is attaching to gluteal tuberosity. So it's having attachment at these 2 points. Another bony point on the femur I told you is a greater trochanter of a femur. So on a greater trochanter, gluteus medius and the minimus are attached. So the last superficial gluteal region muscle is the tensor fasciae lata that I told you when we are going to follow iliotibial tract. At the top of this, we can see a smaller muscle, that is tensor fasciae lata. Now we will cover the nerve supply of these muscles. All superficial muscle of gluteal region are supplied by superior gluteal nerve except gluteus maximus, which is supplied by inferior gluteal nerve. So both the superior and the inferior gluteal nerve, we know these are arising from the sacral plexus. So in turn, I can say sacral plexus is going to supply gluteal muscles. So now I will tell you about the function of these muscles. The superficial muscle of gluteal region act on 2 joints. One is hip joint, another is knee joint. So maximus, minimus and the medius act on hip joint. So gluteus maximus extends and laterally rotates the hip joint. And it also helps us in routine activities like we are raising from a sitting position. When I talking about the medius and the minimus, they are abductor and medial rotator of thigh at hip joint. So we have seen maximus, medius and the minimus are acting at hip joint, but in a different way. The maximus is extending and laterally rotating the hip joint, while medius and the minimus, they are abductor and medial rotators. So medius and minimus, because they are abductor and the medial rotator, so they help us in walking as well. But regarding the function of these muscle, it is also important to remember that the superficial muscle, as I told you, also act on knee joint as well. So the gluteus maximus and the tensor fasciae lata, they are involved in extending the knee. So tensor fasciae lata assists the gluteus maximus when we are going to extend our knee joint. So that was all about superficial muscles of the gluteal region. Now I will tell you about deep muscle of this group, which includes piriformis, obturator internus, gemelli, which are superior, and the inferior gemelli and the quadratus femoris. So we can easily identify these muscles if we are going to identify the piriformis muscle. So piriformis is very important muscle on a deep dissection, and we can easily identify the piriformis how? By means of a sciatic nerve, because sciatic nerve is going to pass below the piriformis muscle. So the muscle that will be the superior to sciatic nerve, that is on a posterior aspect of a thigh, superior to this nerve, the muscle is piriformis muscle. Another important deep muscle is obturator internus muscle. So this is present posterior to sacrotuberous ligament, and it will be filling the whole gap. And when we identify the obturator internus, there is a one muscle superior to it and the one is inferior to it, as we can see. So obturator internus superior to this is muscle is superior gemelli, and the muscle inferior to obturator internus is inferior gemelli. So the last muscle of deep dissection is quadratus femoris muscle. So quadratus femoris is a quadrate shaped muscle, and this is located below the inferior gemelli muscle. So dear friends, in same way we will identify this muscle on a model, the picture that I will show or a video that I will show with you later on. So you can easily identify if you are going to follow the same sequence as I told you. So all the muscles of the deep muscles of gluteal region, they are supplied by the sacral plexus with the nerve with the same name of that of muscle, like nerve to quadratus femoris, nerve to obturator internus, nerve. So now I will tell you about the origin and insertion of these muscles. So piriformis, obturator and gemelli, whether it's superior gemelli or inferior gemelli, they inserts on the greater trochanter of femur. While quadratus femoris, that was the last muscle of this group, as the name indicate quadratus, so it inserts on the quadrate tubercle of femur bone. So two bony landmark, again the greater trochanter and the quadrate tubercle are important. Now we will cover the detail of piriformis muscle, which originates from the anterior surface of the sacrum bone, and it inserts on the greater trochanter of femur. So obturator internus originates from obturator membrane, and it inserts on greater trochanter of femur. Superior and the inferior gemelli originates from the ischial spine and ischial tuberosity respectively. Superior gemelli originates from ischial spine, while inferior gemelli originates from ischial tuberosity, and they inserts on greater trochanter of femur. So the last muscle of this group is quadratus femoris, which originates from the ischial tuberosity along with the inferior gemelli, and it inserts on the quadrate tubercle of femur. So another point to remember regarding the deep group is about tricep coxae, or a tricep of hip joint. So these includes obturator internus and the two gemelli, which are superior and the inferior. So these three muscles are named as collectively tricep coxae because they share a common attachment. So what that common attachment point is, that is trochanteric fossa. I had told you that they are going to attach on a greater trochanter, but besides greater trochanter, these three are combinedly attaching on a trochanteric fossa. So that's why we name them as an tricep coxae muscle. So now at end, I will tell you about the function of deep group of muscle. So regarding the function of these muscle, all muscle of this group act on hip joint. They are not acting on knee joint, and these are lateral rotator of thigh at hip joint. So besides this, I had also told you in a start that gluteal muscles also stabilize the head of a femur in acetabulum. So these are deep group of muscle of gluteal region which are stabilizing the head of a femur in acetabulum. Dear friends, that was all about the muscles of the gluteal region which are superficial in the deep group. In next video, I will share the picture of a model or a video of a model in which you can easily identify the muscles of the gluteal region. And that was all about it. Thanks for watching. Keep subscribing. Thank you so much.